What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live. It is Sunday, which means it is time for Dear Madam Adam Live. We got some emails to answer. Oh, but how's everybody doing? Are we doing okay? Are we all right? I know we're having a hard time out here. I know that the United States is the current mockery of the world, so love that for us. Hello, hello. It's been a rough time, you know? I mean, I honestly feel like since I was in the hospital before the holidays, I don't think I've fully recovered, you know? I don't think I've quite fully recovered yet from emotionally and mentally from the stint in the hospital that I spent. But we're all going through it. That's something that I found. I guess the reason that I'm saying so is it's something that I found a bit comforting, was knowing that I'm not alone. I spent some time with some friends last week, and I might have talked about this already, I'm not sure, but spending time with some friends and venting about my situation and what's going on with me and you know, my mental problems and the stuff that I've been feeling. After we came back from dinner and everything, we were all just sitting around chit-chatting and talking, and there was a lot of sentiment going around the room about feeling similar. It's just hard. Everything is hard, you know? Everything is hard for everybody. So I've been finding myself in a cycle of comparison. I haven't been in a very good mental headspace. Is that redundant? I haven't been in a very good headspace lately. And I've been in like comparative mode, you know, watching all of these people that I admire and it's honestly all has been just like comparative social media. I've been on my phone too much, and I've been comparing myself too much to other people and what they're doing, and like, oh wow, this person looks great, what's wrong with me? This person is succeeding, what's wrong with me? You know, just all of the bad thoughts. So I just wanted to express a little vulnerability. And I think I did some of that earlier today, but also now, you know, why not express a little vulnerability and share that, you know, you don't have to be okay all the time. That is my text tone. That blood curdling scream is my text tone. I know, Shell. Don't compare yourself. I know that it's easier said than done. Yeah, it's just, oh God, it's just, you know, I've just been really far in my feelings lately. I've just been really far in my feelings, and I'm just gonna say it out loud. I've been feeling some type of way about my appearance. You know, I've been feeling really since I've been depressed. I've been eating, stress eating. I'm also trying to we all know my struggles with marijuana. We all know my struggles with weed. And for those of you, if you maybe don't know, I have CHS, which is cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, which basically means, in a nutshell, I'm basically allergic to weed in chronic uses. If I use too much over a long period of time, I get sick. It makes me, that was the big reason I was in the hospital over the holidays. It gave me ulcers, and I developed some ulcers and a hernia and stuff like that from the heaving and throwing up and everything that I was doing. So I'm on antidepressants, and I'm on my cocktail of meds, and all of that's going very well. But I do have an addictive personality. And I've been really good, I've been really good lately about weed. I've been really good about it. And I would love to tell you that I abstain from it. I would love to tell you that I don't smoke, but I do. Even though I know it's not good for me, even though I know that I'm basically allergic to it. Dustin and I go back and forth with it all the time of like, hey, you're smoking a lot, like, be careful, we go back and forth with it and everything, but it just does so much for my anxiety. It does so much for me being okay with sitting still, so it's hard. And so navigating my addictive personality, I don't really feel like I've recovered fully mentally and emotionally from my hospital stay over the holidays. All of that was very traumatic for me. My views have been down lately. People aren't buying readings the way that they used to. And yeah, it's boiled up to me being hard on myself about my appearance. Shell writes, I emphasize so much. I work in an industry that my appearance and personality is what makes me money. It's so hard not to compare myself to other women and to remember that I'm still attractive. Right. I compare myself to every other creator I see. They're all so pretty. They're all so pretty, and they're all so together, and everybody is everybody looks good, everybody looks thin, and even if they're not thin, even if people don't have a flat stomach, because that's all I see online is, I'm like, oh, look at all the flat stomachs, how amazing. And even people that aren't thin or have some weight on them, I still think they look great. I'm like, wow, I wish that I looked that good in my own skin. Like, there's something about it where, like, I see people that are my age, my build, my amount of body hair and stuff, and I'm like, wow, God, you're hot. And I'm like, why does that not look that way on me? So I just have this distorted image of myself. And I think my depression has come to a point where it's fixated on my appearance. So but I appreciate the chat and how again, I really it helps me out a lot to know that I'm not alone and feeling how I feel. That's also what they want you to see behind the camera. They're properly a mess. Yeah, probably, Tyler. You're right. You're right. I just lack a lot of confidence about my appearance. And I always have. I've always thought I've kind of grown into my looks. As I get older, I get better, I think. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And my head has not been in the best place. And I've been doing a lot of doom scrolling and a lot of sleeping, which is Dustin's number one sign that I am going through it is that I keep taking naps. I would rather be asleep. Um, I would rather be asleep, you know. It's my thing. I tell him, and he's like, are you okay? What's going on? And I tell him I just really want to go away. You know, it's not an unalive thing. It used to be. I'm not gonna lie. It used to be a suicidal thing. But now it's just I just want to disappear for a little while. I just want to be invisible for a little while. And the closest thing I can get to it is sleeping. So it's been a lot of naps, a lot of sleeping, a lot of doom scrolling, a lot of trying to make myself be the person that people need me to be, or people would like me to be, you know? It's hard. It's hard. But again, for the third and thousandth time, I am just grateful that I'm not alone in these feelings, and that we're all kind of going through it, you know? And I think if we shared that a bit more with each other, we would maybe feel a bit better, you know? Forget what people want. Who do you want to be? Tyler, I want to be like, I don't know. I want to be more than a reader, you know? I always felt that like tarot would take me somewhere. And it has, and it is. Like, you know how Chris Olsen's on tour right now? You know, Chris Olsen's on tour, and I follow Chris. And I love him, love his content, think he's super cool, super fun. I admire his vulnerability, his strength, and all of that. And to be honest, like, I have no idea like what the man is on tour for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea what he's on tour for. Like, what is he doing? Is it just like karaoke? Is it stand up? Like, I have no idea. And I really want something like that. Like, I want to go on tour. Like, I want to do Tough Love Tarot live, and like go to venues and do reads and make people laugh, and stuff like that. You know, I just haven't quite figured out how that happens, or how they do it, you know. But I maintain that I will be known as more than just a reader, but Madam Adam will be a household name, and it'll be something that you associate with some of your favorite people in the world, some of your favorite famous names and faces. Madam Adam will be in that zeitgeist, in that circle, in that normalcy of society, you know? So, yeah. I want the same things that you all want for me, you know? I think I could sell out venues, you know? I really think I could. But at the same time, my views aren't where they need to be, or where I would like them to be. Yeah, a Madam Adam one-man show, literally. Where I go up there and you know, we do a self-care moment, and I kind of tell some of my story and a little bit about me and make you laugh, and then talk about tarot and do some reads, and an evening of you being inspired, but also laughing and getting to know me and stuff like that. So I don't know. Shit's weird lately. I'm down, but I'm not out. Shout out to my husband for having the strength to endure all of this. Anywho, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, my friends, if you haven't already. Let's get into these emails, shall we? I love that you guys got to hear my text tone. That is so funny to me. You should be with me in public when my text tone goes off. Because I just act like it's normal, My text tone goes off, it's a blood-curdling scream, and I'm just like, oh, my phone. I just act like it's normal. All right. Let's get into some of these emails, shall we? All right. We're going back a little bit. This one is from the second. This one's from Dawn. Hey, could you give me a reading? I've been going through a breakup and stuff. I'm going through a breakup and stuff, and I don't feel like I'm going to be okay. I'd appreciate some guidance if possible. Well, Dawn, I hope you've been here for the first 15 minutes of this live because girl, you are not alone. My ringtone, right? Oh, just Ghostface taking another victim. It's fine. My ringtone is the Munsters, and my text tone is a scream. Dawn, my love, have hope, my friend. Oh, this is very positive. Have hope. The star is present for you, Dawn. The star is the symbol of hope. The star is the symbol of hope. I love that she's nude. The nudity speaks to the vulnerability in the card. And I don't remember why there's this many stars. I have to get my 78 degrees of wisdom again and read that, why there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars. I don't really know why that is, but the star is the symbol of hope. And notice that we're actively pouring into this well, and then oops, it's spilling down all around. She's the worst waitress in the world. So yeah, vulnerability, having hope. And that's why I say that the more you pour into your emotional well, the more it changes the environment. And I say that because of the imagery represented and the way that we're pouring actively pouring into the water there. And then it's accidentally also falling down around us, spilling out of that second jug there. I'm also lately starting to notice more and more animal symbolism that I perhaps hadn't noticed before. As an example, the Queen of Pentacles has a little rabbit in the front right corner of the card. And I don't know why I never really noticed it before. But anyway, so yeah, Dawn, this is a symbol of hope, the star. Be vulnerable with yourself right now. Things are better than you imagine. Things are improving. If you pour into your emotional well, your environment changes as well. So if you honor how you feel, things around you will change. Okay. 3 of Wands energy is why we need to stick to a plan. And you also got to get out there, I always thought that this was a barren wasteland from the Rider-Waite Smith, the classic deck. This is like yellowish, but it's actually supposed to be an ocean. It's supposed to be water. So we got to get out there. We got to feel the breeze. We can't just, planning is lovely and we need to make a plan, but we also can't just sit back and plan. We also have to participate. How do we handle this, Dawn? Chariot energy, propulsion, movement. Propulsion, movement, victory. Thank you, Tyler. All the stars are 8-pointed, a reference to strength. Or hear me out, in a Marseille deck, strength and justice are flipped. So in a Marseille deck, it would be a reference to justice. But either way, I love the way that the element of hope is represented in that. The element of strength in the stars, or justice in the stars, that everything comes out in karma, or you are stronger than you realize. There's a great element of hope in both of those ideas. So I like that a lot. But Dawn, my love, going through a breakup and stuff and don't feel like I'm going to be okay. You are going to be okay. You are going to be okay. You're also better off than you realize. So there is hope for a future. And let's be real, if your dating life weren't a little trial and error, would you even believe it? If it was all A plus 100 10s across the board, you'd probably be a little doubtful of that, you know? So have hope. We need to stick to a plan and get out there and know that this is part of the process. And also, don't compound the breakup and the stuff. You know? A very positive spread. The Star, the Three of Wands, Chariot. Lovely. So we need to go out. We need to get out. We need to make sure that we change the scenery a little bit. I'm just going to pick at random. Ruth. Subject is inherited objects. Very cool. Hiya, it's me again, and I swear this will be short. No worries. I inherited my dad's cell phone finally and was curious to see if spirits can inhabit objects. My dad and I were close, as you know. And now that I have his old phone, could it be a way to see into the life that he lived before unexpectedly passing away? Thanks. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I mean, it's giving talisman, you know? Especially a phone, something that was used on the daily so much and so often. Yeah, I don't see why not. Oh, this one wants to stick. You see that? You see how that like one card, that one like stuck to my finger weird? That one, I'm like, yeah, this needs to come out. So Judgment. Ooh, Tower, King of Cups. Not the cards coming from the bottom, girl. Judgment. Yes. There is a lot of truth that can come out of that. The Tower is the loss, right? The Tower is the sudden upheaval, the loss of dad passing away unexpectedly. King of Cups energy. a few things with that one. The King of Cups. See, and look, there's this little fish right there on the side. I might not have ever noticed that little fish and the boat over there. You know, there's so many animals. The King of Cups and your spread is very comforting to me. It's very comforting, like he's with you. Your dad was a known fisherman. Shut up. Perfection. Perfection. See, I love tarot. Synchronicities are so much fun. But yeah, the King of Cups is what? The symbol to lead with love, lead with compassion, lead with kindness. Kings are also giving like dad energy. So that could be a this could be his blessing, basically, is kind of what I'm saying. This could be his blessing or the sign that, yes, he's with you, you know? But this can be, and look at the card Judgment itself, right? Look at the way, this is why I love YouTube, because I have this whole screen to operate within. But look at Judgment as well, and not to go morbid on you. But these are people that have passed. You know, this is the final judgment. This is the call to the pearly gates, the rapture. So people coming out of their graves to finally go to where they're going to go, heaven, hell, etc. So I would suggest, yes, yeah, this would be a great way to communicate with him and finally have a small piece of him, as you said. Yes. It could definitely be a way to look into the life that he lived. Yeah, you're very welcome. But I love that King of Cups. I love that the most, that he's with you. Always, yes. He's your dad. I would like to think that our relatives, especially ones that we're close to, that they're always with us. I will say this, not always. Like, not when you're having sex and going to the bathroom, but like when I say that they're always with you, to me, that means that you always have access to them and their love. Yes, please. That's so cool. All right. Let us continue, shall we? See, Tyler, I hope Ethan just said, I hope not during sex, as you said it. Right. I don't think they're always with you like that, you know, but you always have access to them. Yeah. All right, Marcela, I have an email from you. Dear Madam Adam, love watching your readings and thank you for the read the other night. You're very welcome. I'm struggling a bit with my professional life. I work in commercial insurance, but my husband and I want to open an indoor pickleball facility in our town. Is this the right time? Should we pursue this? We are aspiring pickleball pros. Is this out of reach or should we go for it? I'm sorry. What the fuck is pickleball? What is pickleball? I don't know what that is. It's trendy. Okay. What is that? Is it like racquetball? Very similar to tennis. Okay. Okay. Tennis with the wiffle ball. Okay. Tennis, racquetball, and ping pong. Interesting. Okay. I'm intrigued. Pickleball. Sounds gay. I play pickleball all the time. Sounds gay, I'm in. Let's see, Marcela. What do I have for you, my love? I'm feeling Four of Wands energy. So we're going to go look for that. Let's go look for the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is it's one of the cards that used to be misconstrued as marriage, because the card is symbolic of like commitment and celebration. So those two things together, I get it. Marriage. But you know we don't do romance. At least not like that. Of course, it was the top 3 cards. So whenever I think of Dustin and I going to wands for the pickle, that too. Whenever I think of Dustin and I going to a convention or an event, when I think about my business, this is always the image that I picture in my mind of me and Dustin at a booth setting up and being like, hey, come one, come all, come get a read, you know? But this is a card of commitment and celebration. And I think this, you know, running your own business like that would be a commitment and something to celebrate. Now, the cards around it are 5 of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So it already says to me that we have to, are there any hidden animals on these cards? No. The Queen of Cups has this little something. I don't know what that is. Down there in the corner. Shalena, not to disrupt the live, I just won an art power box contest and my art will be displayed publicly for the whole town. Shell, congratulations. That is incredible. What a flex. Yes, ma'am. Congratulations. That's so exciting. See, even in the bullshit, even in the fuckery, even in the negative, even in the world, in the state as it is, good things. Good things. Yes, the cherub in the chair, yes. But this little orange guy down here, I don't know what that is. It kind of looks like a fish. That little thing down there. I don't know. But when it comes to this pickleball endeavor, you have to make sure that your heart is really, really in it. You know, with the 2 cup cards here, the 2 emotional cards, it sounds to me like we really need to make sure that our heart is like in it, you know? 5 of cups energy. It sounds like this is going to be hard. This is going to be a lot emotionally. And honestly, I wouldn't plan on this being a long-term endeavor. It sounds like this is going to be a flash in a pan kind of thing. So if you want to go for it, this is something that you have to really make sure your heart is in. Financial hardship, but joy, but you'll love it. That Queen of Cups, though, you should do this because you want to do it and because you love pickleball. You want to share that with other people, you know, whatever your reason is for doing it, but it can't be just for the money. So if your heart's in it, go for it. There is always an audience for authenticity. But at the same time, it feels very short-lived and like a short-term thing. So it's giving Harry Potter. What was it? You're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it. So to answer the questions, is this the right time? The right time is when your heart is fully in it. Should we pursue this? If you emotionally are invested in it, absolutely. Is it out of reach or should we go for it? It doesn't look like a long, profitable thing. It looks like something that you can look back on and be like, oh, remember when we had the pickleball place and how cool that was, you know? So you got to make sure your heart's in it, Marcela. Now let's go back to that Queen of Cups for a second and talk about that a little bit. We agree. Karen agrees with me that it's a fish. I just shuffled it back into the fucking deck. Jesus Christ. But what do we think that fish might symbolize? Here's the Queen of Pentacles and that rabbit right there in the front. Because that fish is out of the water. Looks like a little Dr. Seuss fish. You know? Fish are seen as lucky. Very cool. But yeah, so what do we think that fish there might represent here? Because it's out of water. It's out of the water. And it's not to say that, like, the water isn't, like, the tide isn't coming in and out. The water isn't washing up on the shore there. Yeah, all the queens have a little buddy, don't they? Isn't that fun? Diving into unknown territory, perhaps. I think it's simple. I think it's simple. I think that it's because the Queen of Cups is symbolic of nurture. Almost every card, not every card, but almost every card has an animal on them. But yeah, if the Queen of Cups is symbolic of the need for nurture through transformation, a flounder symbolizes stepping out of your comfort zone. Yeah. But I think more to the point that it's out of the water. Survival. Thank you, Stephanie. That's where I'm leaning. I'm leaning more into survival. I'm leaning more into Queen of Cups, water, fish, live in water. Yeah, absolutely. It feels like it's an offering from the ocean for trusting the flow of emotion. Very interesting, Tyler. Very interesting. My knee-jerk thought with it is like that fish is out of water, so it's probably like, you know, it's probably gasping for air. It's probably gasping to be back in the water, you know. So with the element of nurture that comes from the Queen of Cups, I feel like that fish is like, hey, do you even realize that you're not in the water anymore? Do you realize that you're washed up on the shore? Maybe we need to get chucked back into the ocean, you know? I think it's to me personally, I think it speaks to survival and suffering. Um the fish out of the water. It needs emotion. It needs feeling. It needs water. It needs release. It needs cleanse, you know? And if that's the kind of the gist of the Queen of Cups. Good talk. Good talk, chat. I like it. You have a deck where it looks like seaweed and the chair has smooth stone underneath. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, it looks definitely like a fish to me. Fabulous. Let's go to the text messages, shall we? I know I got one. Almost every card. Yeah, almost every one. Oh, okay. I see, Tyler. Yeah, and this deck, it's just like a speck of seaweed. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're thinking too much into it. Okay. What does it mean? I know. Are we getting that tattooed? We need to. All right. This is from Emily. Hello, Madam Adam. I've had an extreme year of transformations. My intuition has kicked in on multiple levels. I'm losing my father through dementia, and I truly feel it's not going to be much longer. My question is, What is the other side, or my spirit guides like me to know at this time? Is there something more I need to do? Great question. There's a lot of like dad energy tonight, a lot of like father, a lot of dad questions. Yes, whenever Tyler and I ask each other, that it's a joke between us that like as readers, people always think everything has to mean something, you know? Um so we're always like, you know, oh my God, what does that mean? You know, but I always hear it in that Miley Cyrus way. What does it mean? I always hear it like that in my head, and then her screaming after it every time. WDIM. What does it mean? All right. Back to Emily. Well, I'm so sorry that your dad is going through this and you by proxy. Um, that sucks. Let's see what I've got, my love. Is there something more you need to do or something that you need to know? Now I'm looking for the animals on all the cards. Well, we knew the King of Wands had this little black lizard down there. We knew that. Emily, darling, that King of Wands, I balance a lot of things in life as it is. My dad, I swear, reached out to me when I was working. I could hear his voice. Oh, wow. Yes, ma'am. King of Wands energy. We're waiting on you. We're waiting on you to make a move. You have to, you need to do what you need to do to prepare for what comes next. He knows he's passing and he's wanting us to do stuff. Yeah. That is what he mentioned. Okay. Good deal. Okay. Yeah, you have to take initiative. So the Lovers is present as well. So it's the option for you of how you handle this is between the wise thing and the passionate thing, wisdom and emotion, logic, feeling. Which way do you want to do this? Seven of Wands energy is interesting. I don't know how many other people are involved. I don't know if you have siblings or anything like that, but Seven of Wands energy is that you're going to have to put some people in their place. Are you and your dad really close? Because maybe you need to be the one to speak for him, for the collective. Extremely close. You're the last one he's got. Wow. Wow. And thank you for texting in real time. That is so cool. Yeah, Seven of Wands energy. You're going to have to advocate for him and stand up for him and fight for him. There might be some things that he wants to happen that people don't understand or don't have the capacity to do, and you can't do everything yourself. So King of Wands, Seven of Wands, both of these are kind of ferocious, you know, lead with passion, initiative, fuck it, I'll do it myself kind of energy is this. And then this Lovers, though, remember that you always have a choice. You decide how you handle this, the wise way or the passionate way. Doing everything on my own. There are 2 siblings that are working with me, but there are other siblings that have literally washed their hands of him decades ago. We're trying to protect my dad at this point. Yes, absolutely. You have to be an advocate for him. You have to be a warrior for him. So what I'm gathering, my love, is that you're doing everything that you need to do. There's not something more that you need to do. What you need to know, though, is that you always have a choice of how you handle these things. And with the siblings, with dad, like you have you have options of how you handle every individual person, in every individual situation. So I know it's a rough time right now, but remember your choices: wisdom or passion. Okay. And for what it's worth, like, I'm really proud of you for being this strong, you know. Yes, Stephanie, good point. Emily, ask for help and stay strong, my friend. You got this. And know when it's okay to put the strength down. This is a hard time. Okay. Shell asked, do you ever pull a card for yourself and feel like you don't resonate with it? Yeah, I think, and Tyler kind of answered this for me. He calls them slow burns because the message always seems to come eventually. Yeah, my 3-card spread I pulled for myself the other day didn't quite resonate in the moment. So this Queen of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, it didn't quite resonate in the moment. But the longer that I sit with it, the more it kind of begins to make sense and solidify. So yeah, I fully agree with Tyler. They might not resonate in the moment, but they're meant for something. All right, I think I got time for another email. All right. Ooh, this one sounds heavy. Okay, Tiffany. Hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm married to okay, I don't want to do first last names. I don't want to do that. So Tiffany, I'm married to an Edward. My husband's now ex-best friend. So trigger warning for anyone for SA, trigger warning. My name is Tiffany. I'm married to an Edward. My husband, now ex-best friend, sexually assaulted me, and my husband and I are working things out. But I want to know, are we going to stay together for the rest of our lives? Because 2 girls together, and I want to raise them together. Please let me know, and thank you so much for the reading. So, yeah, yikes is an understatement. So I'm glad that you're working things out. But if you want to stay together, it's dependent on the work you guys do on this. You have to do a lot of work on you as well. You have a lot of healing to do from this trauma. And I hope that Edward can, I hope that he can provide the support that you need. I'm glad it's an ex-best friend now. It's always the people closest, isn't it? Isn't that the fucking statistic? That it's always the people closest to you, the people that you trust. That's so disgusting. I'm so sorry. Now we have to think about the kids, you know? And I don't mean that we like stay together for them or something. I don't mean that. I mean that like you have to think about your healing for them so that we don't somehow stain their development with our pain. Therapy, highly recommend. Are you going to stay together for the rest of your lives? That's up to you all. That's up to the two of you and the work you do together. You need self-love. Let's go back to that fish down there. You have to trust your deep-seated intuition and feeling, but maybe you're also gasping for release and comfort right now. Maybe you're gasping for love in your life right now. 5 of Wands energy. There's too many opinions, too many voices. Yeah. 4 of Wands energy with the King of Swords, commitment through wisdom. Page of Wands. This might be a good time for you to go back to something in you. This might be a good time to rekindle something in you that you once lost. 4 of Wands energy, though, commitment through wisdom. So we have to work on this if we're going to be together. We have to be honest. Honesty needs to be the top priority for your relationship. Honesty. And that's you as well. You have to be honest about how you feel and what you're going through. So you need some self-love and care. We need to heal and take our time with this. You need to nurture yourself. You're going to get a lot of opinions, a lot of voices, a lot of noise about this. But you have to find the passion for you to persevere and move through and carry on. If you and your husband are going to be together, we have to commit to healing together and focus on the truth. The truth may be down the line that this isn't it for us. The truth may be that we're better separate, or that you can't let this go. You know, there might be some blame. There might be some guilt of how could I let this happen, or how could you allow this to happen? Stuff like that. So, as of now, we're committed to healing and working on this. And that says wonderful things for your future. So that's what I've got, my love. It's going to take time. It's going to be a process, and we have to lead with wisdom and truth. Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. We'll tackle more emails next week. But this has been lovely. Thank you to the Maven community for hanging out during this live. Thank you for being here weekly. I appreciate you. Thank you for writing in, texting in. I will be live at 10 for a little after party. So in about an hour. And I hope to see you then. Thank you all so much for spending time this evening. Don't forget to visit madamadam.com for cameos, which are 50% off right now for a limited time. Cameos classes are up as well. Private sessions, everything's on the website. madamadam.com, my friends. So I will see you at 10 o'clock on all the socials. And until then, thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.